Hey guys, welcome. So today we are going to try out the ZEESEA Alice in Wonderland Flamingo palette. These I have been dying to try. They are on Amazon. They have an Amazon store. This is what the palette looks like. Super detailed and gorgeous, but we get into all of that in the next part of the video. We're going to try it out together, and I definitely have some thoughts on the palette. So if you're interested in that, then definitely just keep on watching. Hey friends, welcome back to another day, another video. If you're new, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Jeannie and I like to do a lot of BoxyCharm over here and Ipsy, makeup hauls. I like trying stuff out. I also do giveaways all of the time here on my channel, so that's something fun, and I would love to have you here. If you want to hang out and stick around, become part of this beauty YouTube family, then I would love to have you. And then for all of my returning viewers, hey babes, I'm so glad you are back. Now I am really excited for today's video. I have had my eye on this on Amazon for quite some time. This is the ZEESEA Alice in Wonderland collection. Now I believe this is like a I know it's an Asian company. I don't know if it's like Chinese or Japanese, but so looking up, after I've been seeing them on Amazon for a while, and I've actually had this in my cart for like months and just never pulled the trigger, but I finally did. I really wanted to try it after I looked up the palette on YouTube, and I saw about 6 or 7 months ago is when these must have come out, because there's a ton of videos at that time of like larger influencers that got this in PR, where the company reached out to them and asked if they could send over the products and that kind of thing for them to review. And then there was also some channels that went ahead and purchased it. So once I saw the videos, I knew I had to get it. Now there is a whole collection. I want to say there's like 4 or 5 palettes in the collection. They do retail for about $35 on Amazon. Sometimes like there'll be like a little coupon that you can add to your final purchase if you're purchasing off Amazon and get a couple dollars off. But I paid $34.99 for it. And first of all, now this is the, I want to say this is the Flamingo palette out of the collection. I think it is. I'm not seeing on here where it says, but anyhow, this is the outside box packaging. Even down to the box that it comes in, it's embroidered and just really pretty. And then the packaging itself does not feel cheap. It is plastic, so it's not like but then there is like metal on it. Well, actually that might be plastic too, I really can't tell, but either way, there is glitter on the inside of the palette, so when you move it, it floats around in there. There must be some sort of gel or something like that. So anyhow, super gorgeous packaging. Now I could not help it when I first got it. I touched a couple of them, but these are the colors in the palette. I chose this one because it's definitely the most wearable in my opinion out of all of the palettes in this specific collection. But it is so stunning. You also do get a little brush. I was feeling the brush. It's kind of small. It might be good for like detailed crease work when you really want to keep a color right in the outer corner. And then you've got like a little packer brush. So I don't know, the brush feels kind of basic. I don't feel anything spectacular about it or anything really bad about it either, but we'll definitely try it out. But I'm definitely more excited about the actual palette. Now it does come with a mirror. I think you pull this thing off to get to the mirror, but I really don't need to do all that right now. But you guys, the detailing on this palette is so pretty. I know the ones that I touched were plain anyways, but you can see it's got like the little spade, heart, clover, and diamond, and then the flamingo on the blush. I mean, just super detailed. And then I love this. This is where you got the blush here, and it is an Alice in Wonderland, and the outside is matte, and the inner part that the Alice is like a shimmer, or it's got like a little bit of shimmer in there. So just super pretty, totally my type of color story. And we're gonna check it out. So first, let's do some swatches. I gotta show you guys this color right here. It is so multi-chromatic. Just absolutely beautiful. Look at the sheen on that. And then we'll do this copper color next. Actually, it's kind of like a peach pinky copper. Now, the formula itself feels really nice on my finger and really nice gliding across the skin. I've got a phone call coming in. I will be right back. Okay, you guys, I sincerely apologize for that. I film on my iPhone and I had a phone call coming in and it was blocking. So I would have just ignored it for the moment, but it was blocking so that I couldn't see what was going on. But anyhow, we are back and we are swatching. So I want to also show you this red color here in swatch. This is really, really pretty. Another multi-chromatic color. It just looks so wet, which I love. I love my shimmers. But yeah, so there's a couple swatches and let's just go ahead and try out the palette, see what we can come up with. I love that with this palette, you're gonna get a nice, soft, glam look, which is pretty much what I really, really love. And yeah, I'm excited to try it out. Like I said, this has been in my shopping cart for a long time. I'm already primed and set. For priming today, I used the Ace Beauté Shadow Enhancing base, which I recently got out of BoxyCharm. Super, super great base. Also very affordable at $14.99. And then I set it down with Bella Pierre HD Finishing Powder in Translucent, and we're ready to roll. So what I want to do first is take a fluffy blending brush. This is a Luxie, and I'm going to pick up a matte shade and pop it into my transition area, of course, and I'm going to go with this pinky color right here. Now, I've swatched a couple colors, but I have not yet tried to apply any to the eye. So I'm excited to see how they actually blend out. And, you know, swatches can be misleading. That's why I would rather just do a look, and I don't always, you know, swatch every color, just because they really can be, you know, a misleading at, you know, the true color. And it could be one color and super dark and pigmented in a swatch, but then going on your eye, the pigment looks different, or it goes on patchy and doesn't blend out well. So you just never really know until you're actually putting it on your eyeballs. But this actually looks to be blending out really, really nicely. It's got a really nice solid base pigment and just a really pretty color to pop in for transition. So that's a win. I think I'm going to go and just tap it in once more and just kind of focus it more on this outer edge. Of course, if you have seen any of my Get Ready With Me's or anything like that, I always talk about like the edges of my eyes are constantly watering, and it waters away my shadow. That's like right in the outer corner. It drives me absolutely bananas, but that is what I deal with. So anyhow, okay, so I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take another blending brush. This one is a little bit smaller in size because I want to be a little bit more precise with the placement. We're going to deepen up the outer corner a bit, and we're going to go in with this matte brown shade for that. And I'm just going to begin to build up the outer corner and give the look a little bit of dimension. This brush is not my favorite. It's a little bit scratchy on the skin, which is gonna make my eye wanna water even more. I think I need to switch brushes. I guess we could try this little guy that it came with and just add a touch more on there. Make sure that I'm bringing it right down into the lash line so we don't have any gap of color, and just kind of blend that out. So that is pretty. I do feel like I need to blend it a bit with the other shade. Just kind of like diffuse the edges of where the colors meet so that it just kind of melts into one another kind of thing. But yeah, so far I'm really happy with the mattes. I think they look really, really nice. Nice pigment and everything like that. Now I am going to add a little base on my lid before I go in with the shimmers. And I'm just going to use I can't get it out. Okay, so I'm just going to use my Stretch Concealer by Glossier. This is a really, really nice base for eyeshadow and just a really great concealer in general. it goes on like a second skin, which I absolutely love, and it doesn't crease. It's very hydrating if you have dry eyes or dry skin, I mean. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that to the lid, and then we'll pop on the shimmer and see how the shimmers look. I think I'm also going to spray the brush a little bit with, this is Urban Decay All Nighter. It just really helps get that pigment on there and stuck onto the eye. So the first shimmer I'm going to use is going to be this red one. We're going to use some different ones. And I'm going to add this to the outer part of the eye here. May need to go ahead and pick up the product a couple different times to really get the pigment that you're looking for, depending on how dark or sheer you want it to be. I like my shimmers to be like blinding, so just kind of keep adding it until you have your desired color. I'll be honest with you, I'm not super impressed with this color, but we'll see about the other ones. It is really pretty, actually. It's pretty. I just feel like I should be able to get that color payoff with a primer and spraying my brush. I should be able to get that color payoff with one dip in, is my opinion, but that's okay. Okay, so next I'm going to add in a bit of this color right here, which is like a peachy golden pink color. And I'm just going to kind of layer it right on the edge of that first shimmer and then bring it in just a bit. And I'm going in again. I probably should have sprayed the brush again, but I forgot. So that is the color there. See these swatched, so, ooh, look at the kick up in that. That's a lot of kick up. Okay, so that is where we're at. I'm not super impressed with these shimmers right now. Like, they're okay. They definitely might apply better with finger. Let's try the finger. I'm going to go in with this lightest one right here and bring that on the inner corner and bring it right into the other shimmers. So I think that it does. My 13-year-old just got home from school. There could not be any more disruptions to this video if it tried. Chewy, please. Well, welcome to my house. So, how distracting. I'm sorry. But anyhow, so yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. The palette is stunning. I think that the mattes went on beautifully. The shimmers are a little bit kind of lacking, just a tad in my opinion, because I really love my shimmers. I feel like it really makes the look, but I'm not unhappy with it. I think like I was expecting the shimmers to be a little bit more, but that can also depend on how you apply it too. So next time I think I will definitely use my finger with the shimmers and see if I get a different result. But I definitely want to add a highlight, like a matte highlight under the brow bone. So I'm going to use from the Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions palette. I'm going to use this matte light color and pop some under the brow bone. Christian, please. Sorry, guys. And then I'm just adding some on the inner corner as well. And then I'm going to take just a touch of the light color right here and pop just a small amount under the brow bone just to catch the light. And then also again on the very inner corner for a brightening effect. And that is the eyeshadow look. Now what I'm going to do is catch up the other eye, and then we'll finish off the look together here on camera. So I will be right back. Okay guys, I am back. I have the other eye completed, but I do have to tell you what happened off of camera. I tried to add some winged liner and totally messed it up. So it was one of those times where it was not savable and I had to wipe it off and just redo my eye look. I mean, it happens to everybody sometimes. So anyhow, since that happened, I had the opportunity to use my finger instead of a brush for the shimmers because I was having a little bit of a difficult time getting them to show up the way that I really wanted them to and the way that I was really hoping for them to. And now I'm actually glad that that happened because it gives me the opportunity to let you know the shimmers definitely, if anything, work best with a saturated brush. Spray your brush with a setting spray and then pick up the pigment and pat it onto a primed lid. And even then, you saw, because that's what I did. And then this last time I just used my finger, and your finger, you're really not getting you're not even getting the amount of payoff that we did with the brush. So not only is it not better, but it's worse. Does that make sense? I don't know. But anyhow, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So my final thoughts on the palette is that I do want to go ahead and try the blush really quick. But my thoughts on the eyeshadow are that at $35.99, if I'm going to pay that for a palette, sure, it's not the most expensive palette in the world, but that's a pretty penny for an eyeshadow palette. Let's keep it real. So if I'm going to pay that amount of money for a palette, I want it to be something that I'm going to reach for over and over and get a lot of use out of, right? That's specifically why I got this Color Story. I thought it would be the Color Story that I would reach for most and get everyday use out of. Now, with that being said, I do think that the mattes performed really, really nicely. They blended in with each other nicely. They weren't patchy. I think that the mattes performed well. Definitely not the best that I've ever seen, but definitely well enough to where if the shimmers matched the quality, I would definitely reach for the palette a lot more. That being said, if I do have palettes that perform well in both areas. The mattes are beautiful and the shimmers are stunning as well. So I have a hard time thinking that I would be reaching for this palette knowing that I'm going to use the mattes and then have to find something else for shimmers because I'm not happy with the way that the shimmers perform. So is this going to be something that I reach for a lot? Probably not. I may end up even passing it on to my niece. I think that she would absolutely love it. Maybe for like play makeup. I know that sounds bad, but if it's not going to be something that I'm going to get a ton of use out of, I'd rather give it to my niece, let her practice on makeup. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do yet, but it is possible. Just because, honestly, I can't see myself wanting to reach for this a ton when I'm not happy with the way that the shimmers work. And I do have palettes that I can grab one palette and get the whole look done. Now, the blush actually looks beautiful. Very pigmented. I like the blush. So just not thrilled with the shimmers, and that's my 2 cents on that. But I always got to keep it real and be honest with you on how I actually truly feel about the product. So there we have it. And I'll be honest, I am bummed out just because I have been waiting so long for this. This has been in my Amazon cart for probably like 3 months, and I finally pulled the trigger. And well, now I kind of wish that, well, no, I don't wish that I wouldn't have, because I'm happy that I tried it. And now I know. So it's not in my cart and it's not in the back of my mind. Like, am I missing out on some amazing palette? Not really. I don't think that after trying this one that I will purchase the other ones in the collection. I may try some other things from this brand, but I definitely probably will not spring $35.99 on any of the other palettes in this collection because I just wasn't thrilled with it. So anyhow, that's going to be it for this video. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.